Yo, what is up, everybody? It's Riley's Redzone here, back with another weekly NFL game picks video. Now, this week, I'm predicting the outcome of each Week 15 game. This week, right now, I'm already 2-1. Follow my Twitter down there, or at Riley Redzone, to see my weekly Thursday night picks. And then, for example, yesterday there were 2 Saturday games. I put those out there as well. I like to wait until Sunday to upload, because then we have all of the needed injuries and suspensions, all the updates of that type of thing. And I think all those can have a big impact on who wins the game. So, last week I went 10-6. I actually started 10-3 and then got the last 3 games wrong. So, I think if I get a better finish this week, I can end with a better record. But for this week, let's go over the games. So, there's not going to be as many to talk about since we've already had 3 games played. But Lions, Titans, I'm going with the Titans today. They're on a roll right now. They're tied with the Colts, I believe, for the AFC South. They just need to feed it to Derrick Henry. He honestly should be, for sure, a candidate for, Offensive Player of the Year, if not even MVP. So, I think the Titans get a win. I think at this point, the Lions, they fired everybody. They're just kind of trying to end this season. We'll see what happens between Stafford, which is literally, I just saw this morning, he's playing with an injury. He was injured last week against the Packers. Had not really bad, but a possible injury, and he's still trying to play today. So I think the Titans get the win. I think the best thing for the Lions is to just lose out, basically, and try to get a better draft pick. Then we have the Niners and the Cowboys, 2 teams I do not think are very good right now. Both teams are very injured. That being said, I trust Kyle Shanahan more than I do Mike McCarthy. So I am going to be picking the 49ers. I've picked against them many times. I even, picked the upset last week that the football team would win, and they did. I don't love this team with Nick Mullins right now, but I like them better than the Cowboys without Dak Prescott. So I think that will be a close game between 2 not very good teams, and I think that the 49ers are able to pull it out. Bears, Vikings. Okay, I am a Vikings fan. You may already know that. But I will say I've picked against them many, many times this season. But today I am thinking they're going to get the win. But here's what's going to happen. Knowing, everything I've known about the Vikings for years is they're going to win this week against the Bears, give you hope that they can make the playoffs, and they're just going to lose to the Saints, and we're going to end 8-8, and then it's going to be the worst draft pick that you could possibly imagine. Being in the middle is always terrible in the NFL, because either you want a high draft pick, or you want to make the playoffs and have a chance to win the Super Bowl. So I think that happens, where I think the Vikings pull out a win today. I do like Trubisky almost better than Foles. I don't like them whatsoever. I don't think they're very good quarterbacks, but I do think it was the right move to Foles was hurt anyways, but it kind of was a change-up in the offense that maybe they needed. So I do think the Vikings win, though, at home, but this will be a very close one today. Bucks, Falcons. I'm not a huge Falcons fan this season. I think they always put up a ton of points, but just aren't able to finish it out. I do think they have some hope for the future, though. I think Raheem Morris isn't terrible, but they probably will go after a different head coach, maybe. But if you had to go with him next year, I think you'd be okay. The question will be who stays. Matt Ryan, Julio are getting up there in age. We'll see what happens, but I think the Bucs get the win today. They're trying to get a few more wins so then they can improve their playoff seeding. So I think the Bucs with Brady are able to get a win today over the Falcons. Expect this one, though, to be a pretty high-scoring matchup. Texans Colts. I've not been, huge fan of the Colts this year. Texans have pulled off some upsets. I do like the way they're playing under Romeo Crennel, but I do think that the Colts get the win today. I think that they're favored by 7 right now. That might be a little bit much. That's my prediction. It's going to be closer than that, but I do think the Colts win the game. I think that Rivers is going to be fine for them. They'll probably make the playoffs and maybe can pull off a playoff game win, possibly. But I think that right now the Colts are the better team, so I'm picking them. Then we have the Seattle Seahawks and the Washington football team. Washington football team's trying to win that division. I don't think they seal it this week. I think they lose to the Seahawks. And that just makes the whole NFC East interesting. Because I don't think the team, that wins the whole division is going to be above like 500. So I think they lose today. I just don't know about their overall offense without Antonio Gibson. I think he's a huge piece for them. I did like the move to Alex Smith. He's now injured. We have Dwayne Haskins, so we'll see. Maybe he can get a comeback going. But I definitely think that the Seattle Seahawks are able to pull out a win there. Patriots Dolphins. This one's going to be close. This one's going to be very close. Now, this is going to be my upset pick right here. I'm going with the Patriots over the Dolphins. Looks like the Dolphins are favored by about 1.5. I think the Patriots actually get the win. It seems so many times that when you think they're not going to win, they do. And when they actually have the advantage, they don't win. I think that since they're not mathematically eliminated, I think that the Patriots somehow pull this one out. That's my prediction here. That's kind of a bold take, but I think that they end up winning against the Dolphins. That's my upset pick of the day, kind of. The Ravens are favored by 13 over the Jaguars. We'll go with that. I think Gardner is actually starting again over Glennon, but I still think that doesn't make a big difference. Ravens win, I think, in that one. Then we have the Jets and the Rams. That's one of the biggest spreads I've seen this season. Rams are favored by 17. Not really surprising, but because the Jets are just terrible. I don't know how they still have Adam Gase when all these other teams have fired their coach. It's clear they basically want to lose games at this point. I'm going to be honest, I think Adam Gase could be offensive coordinator somewhere, but he's just not it as a head coach whatsoever, so I don't think he will ever get another head coaching job, but I think they lose again, and we'll see who ends up getting Trevor Lawrence next year. So, Eagles, Cardinals. This one could be interesting. We have Jalen Hurts against Kyler Murray, two former Oklahoma quarterbacks. That could be interesting. I do think the move to Hurts was the correct move for the Eagles. He played well last week against the Saints. And that being said, I think the Cardinals get a win. They're fighting for playoff contention. I really think they are really going to compete for this team. I like Kyler Murray a lot. I think he's going to be a future superstar. They have DeAndre Hopkins with him. I think that this will be a pretty good game, but today I think the Cardinals get a win over the Eagles. But watch out for the Eagles if they have Jalen Hurts playing well. Here might be the game of the day. We have the Chiefs and the Saints. That one's going to be really good. That could be the Super Bowl matchup right there. And this could be the best team, I'd say, in each conference, possibly. It's probably the Chiefs and the Bills in the AFC, probably not the Steelers anymore. And I'd say the Saints and the Packers. So this is a hypothetical Super Bowl matchup. So this one's going to be great. I think that in this one here, I'm going to go with the Chiefs, but it's going to be super close. Drew Brees is, I believe, back today. I do think he's going to be a little rusty this week. That's the only reason I'm really picking the Chiefs against the Saints is because I think Brees will be a little rusty. He hasn't played in a bit. But this should be a great game and a possible seeing of what it could look like in the Super Bowl. Then we have the Freddie Kitchens, Colt McCoy revenge game against the Browns. And I guess not the Odell against the Giants. That would have been fun to see. But the Browns are favored by 6.5. I think that's accurate. I think they'll get a win here. So I think I just picked against every NFC East team. Yeah, that division's going to be terrible at the end. Wow, but I think that the Browns are still able to get a win, even though they are against Freddie Kitchens, trying to get revenge. I mean, that could be interesting to watch, but I think the Browns still get the win. They're just a better team. So, final game, Steelers-Bengals. I'm still picking the Steelers. I know that they have not played well the last few weeks against good teams. The Bengals are not a good team, though, without Joe Burrow. Love Joe Burrow, but without him, this is not a very good football team. Their offensive line is very bad, and at this point, they're just going to get another, playmaker or something in the draft next year and go from there. I just don't think that they're good for the rest of the season, and honestly, you might need to reevaluate Zach Taylor as your head coach, but I can see how they keep him for another year and see what he does with Burrow for a full year. But this one's not really going to be interesting in my opinion. I think the Steelers easily win this one. So, thank you so much for watching this week's edition of the picks. We'll see what my record is this week. Next week we've got some interesting ones, even a game on Christmas. So that is quite interesting. I'm seeing there's like a Christmas game and then 2 games after and other things like that. So I am 2-1 to currently start the week. I picked correctly for the Bills and the Packers, but then I predicted that I predicted the Raiders would beat the Chargers, and the Chargers ended up beating the Raiders. So I'm starting 2-1. We'll see how I finish the rest of the week. Thank you so much for watching. I will say I'm working on the next film breakdown. I'm on Christmas break this week, so I will have a lot of extra time. So with that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.